Jai Janendra everyone. Welcome you all to this module 2 of the topic 4 states of existence, Char Gati. Few months back, we have started this topic with module 1 and we had invited Sayam Bhaiya who is here with us in the previous module as well, and today he has joined us again to continue with the second module of the same topic, 4 states of existence, Char Gati. Previously, we have learned about the basic introduction to Gati, what are these four Gati, and what is the Swarup basically of these four Gati. To proceed further, today we will be learning about the Dukh part. What specifically are the sorrows there in each Gati? So today we will be covering the Narak Gati. And before I ask Sayam Bhaiya to start the lecture, I want to shortly introduce you all to the Jeev portal. You are here at Jeev portal. Jeev is Jain English Education and Values, where you will be learning Jainism with with different modules in English language. It's just like the other Logic portals like Coursera, LinkedIn Learning. It's similar to that. Difference is only you don't have to pay here anything. It's completely free of cost. How to access this portal? Everything I will explain at the last part of this lecture. So over to you, Sayambaya. You can start the lecture of the topic. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Harshit. All right. Okay. अग्नि के फलिंगों के समान यह वायु, तप्त धूलिका वर्षा, विष सरीखा असिपत्र वन, जबरदस्ती आलिंगन करने वाली ये लोहे की कर्म पुतलियां, हमको परस्पर में लड़ाने वाले ये दुष्ट यमराज तुल्य असुर देव, हमारा भक्षण करने के लिए यह सामने से आ रहे जो भयंकर पशु, तीक्ष्ण शस्त्रों से युक्त ये भयानक नारकी, यह संतापजनक करुण क्रंदन की आवाज, श्रृगालों की हृदय विदारक ध्वनियां, असिपत्र वन में गिरने वाले पत्तों का कठोर शब्द, कांटों वाले सेमर वृक्ष, भयानक वैतरणी नदी, अग्नि की ज्वालाएं युक्त ये विलें कितने दुस्सह व भयंकर हैं। प्राण भी आयु पूर्ण हुए बिना छूटती नहीं। अरे अरे, अब हम कहाँ जावें, इन दुखों से हम कब चिरेंगे। इस प्रकार प्रतिक्षण चिंतन करते रहने से उन्हें दुस्सह मानसिक संताप उत्पन्न होता है तथा हर समय उन्हें मरने का संशय बना रहता है। So Narak is a place where extreme level of misery stays. This was an excerpt from Mahapuran, which clearly states and talks about how it's so difficult for Narki to survive there, and the Jeev is really, really difficult when it comes to the Narak state. We have a little information already given to us in the module. I would like to share a little PPT through which we will be able to understand the miseries of Narak. Now, Narak basically has four synonyms. The first one, as you can see, is Nirata. Second one is Narak. The third one is again Narak. And the fourth one is Narata. Nirata means where continuously 5 sins they keep on happening, and hence it's called as Nirata. It's called Naraka because all the Jeev living in Narak they feel the atmosphere is very uh, difficult and not happy to live in. It's like they are all being, crushed. They are all pacified. That way, it's called as Narak. It's called Narak because there are a lot of Ashubh karma which come to fruition during this particular point. And the last one is Narata, where you do not feel like living, is called as Narak. Now we will be discussing these type of miseries in four particular categories. The first one is environmental, second is bodily, third one is psychological, and the fourth one is uh, Asur Kumar Jati Dev. They provoke the Narkis to fight with one another and certain kinds of things. So the first one is the Sharirik Dukh, the bodily pain that they feel. So it's really very difficult to survive there. So it says, as soon as these people take birth in Narak, Bhidiye, it's the word used in Tiloy Panditi, means bhai, fear, extreme amount of fear is being felt as soon as they reach there, and hence their body starts to shake. Whenever they fall down, it feels like 36 different types of swords, they penetrate their feet. It feels like that. Then the body continuously feels like it is being agitated, it is getting grumbled, disgruntled. It really feels very much difficult to live in there. Uh, their bodies are like mercury. Whenever they fell down, it breaks. It again, like mercury, again comes together. Their body also comes together. In the same way, continuously their body has keeps on having different types of diseases, and they do not have any doctor there to treat them. Now, these are general body related things. Now, the kind of miseries which are transferred from one narki to another narki is they cut their body, they eat their body, they burn their body, one another's body. Parshu, it's like a thoda, it's like a hammer, or it's like a chisel by which they transform their body or hands particularly in order to make it a deadly weapon. So hence all these weapons are also uh, the guns, the arms and ammunitions. These are all indicators through with the help of Dravya Nikshep, we call all these weapons themselves as Narak because they get you to a feeling where you can, where Narak can be felt. It's that kind of a place. Now, in their past lives, whatever they had, whatever struggles they have had, it all comes back, and hence they are haunted by those memories, and hence those memories keep on provoking them to hit one another or kill one another. As soon as somebody comes from outside, they feel like it's a very bad place to live in. They feel very disturbed. They feel very much not at ease.
Is it okay now?
Yes.
The food is again a very difficult thing. They feel extreme level of hunger. If you do a lot of exercise, if you do a lot of boxing or something like that, you really feel too hungry, and they don't have anything to eat. Hence, they eat the mud whatever is lying there, and again, it gives them different kinds of diseases. So extreme amount of bhook, extreme amount of hunger, extreme amount of thirst can be felt there. Chadhala clearly states about this. It really gives us a very nice picture about what actually happens there. We'll read some lines from Chadhala in the next section. So, again, the environment is very black. Although it is said that the upper three naraks, they have a little whitish environment, a little whitish, yellowish environment. And as soon as you go down, it really gets darker and darker. Level of narkis, like first top three naraks are Narak Prithvi, Narak Bhumi. They are hot in nature. Extreme amount of hotness can be felt there. And as soon as you go down, they go on being chilly. So all the other lower level narak, they feel like very chilly, very cold. So it's like horror is more felt when it is hot inside and cold outside. You must have seen those things in the movies as well. Now Asur Kumar Jati, these are Bhavanvasi, these are a type of Bhavanvasi Dev who live in Bhavan and on land. So they have houses here in Madhyalok. So Khar Bhumi and Pank Bhumi, they have houses here. They keep on helping Narkis to remember whatever has happened in their past lives, and hence they keep on provoking. You might have a question that, no, I'll state a fact that the first four, before the fourth Narak, they actually have a system of Asur Kumar Jati Dev coming there and inducing misery. But in the rest of the Narak, no Asur Kumar Jati Dev comes. So you might have a question that why is that so? Because wherever there is intense amount of misery, there these people should be helping one another. But the case is, in the upper Narak, these people have a little better environment, kind of a better environment. So there, these people come and they provoke them to fight. But as soon as we go down, it feels like that these people do not need anyone's support to be angry or to fight or to feel like being anarchy. They keep on fighting with themselves. They do not need anyone else. So, and what is the nature of these Asur Kumar Jatis Dev? Now it's difficult to call them angels, heavenly beings. Although they do not live in the heaven above us, but yes, still it is called as heavenly beings. Yuddh dekhkar anand lete hain. They really enjoy in a fight. So hence they keep on provoking people. It's like, if you remember the history of cricket states that, whenever two battalions have to decide the number of slaves to be shared, cricket was the best means by which they used to do it. So two police battalions, soldier battalions, or maybe police departments, they have a match of cricket, and after that match, whosoever wins used to take the maximum number of slaves for their own purposes. So it's like they enjoy in the misery of these people. They're playing the game and hence they are enjoying whatever is happening around them. Kind of a weird fun they have. So we have read in Mahapuran right now what kind of different miseries they have. So it's like every time they keep on thinking, what the hell am I here? Why the hell am I here? How am I going to come out of this place? How are these miseries going to go away? So they keep on, cursing themselves. Also, they tend, after using, Avdhi Gyan, or maybe by their, past life remembrance, they get to feel that why are we here? What was the reason that we are at such a place? So even that could be known to them, which is they have not lived in the vicinity or environment of sangati of good people. So they tend to be with the wrong crowd, and hence this happens. So the remorse because of this. They remember whatever wrong they've done to others, whatever path they have done, even though they might not have done something to others, but then thinking about doing something bad of others also is one of the reasons why somebody goes to Narak. Every time they feel like dying, somebody is going to hit them, they are going to die, and there is no abode for them. There is no Arhant Siddha Acharya Upadhyaya Sadhu for them. There is no Pandit, there is no Janmani, there is no Guru, there is nobody for them, and hence they feel very, helpless. There are other different kinds of miseries that they feel. Is like their bodies are very, their bodies do not have is it gives them a capability of reforming their body. They cannot make a vikriya apart from their body. It has to be made somewhere in their body only. So they can reform their hands, they can reform their head, they can reform their legs, they can reform these places so that they become deadlier, and hence they can be used to kill others or make their lives difficult. So that way different kinds of bodies they have. So even though there are a lot of diseases, yet they do not pounce on them. They keep on pouncing at one another, and hence such situations happen. So in short, we have understood that these people really never had a good life. Their life structure was very difficult. They could not live well. Whatever structure was happening with them, it was a very difficult state of living. There are a lot of different other excerpts which I'd like to show to you so that you understand the different other kinds of unhappinesses that these people feel. I just give you a reference from Chaidala's first dhal. It talks clearly about what kind of unhappinesses these people feel. So we'll read a few lines and try to understand the meaning of these lines so that we get to know a very good picture about what happens exactly in Naraka. Okay. Okay. अति संक्लेश भावते मरियो, घोर श्वभ्र सागर में परियो। तहां भूमि पर सत दुख इसो, बिच्छू सहस डसे नहीं तिसो। Ati Sanklesha Bhavate Mario, with a lot of dissatisfied life, dissatisfied end, death, a person lands to such place. You all know that how do we reach to Narak? I mean, what are the causes by which we reach to Narak? So it says, Bahvaramba Parigrahatvam Narakasyayushah. Bahu Arambh, Bahu Parigraha. Arambh means the activities we do, the extreme amount of activities we do, and Bahu Parigraha, the kind of things that we arrange from outside. So a person who always wants to, have extreme amount of luxuries, extreme amount of uh, worldly things with them. These people, keep on having those thoughts by which they feel like, I'm not satisfied by this particular thing, I need more. I'm not satisfied with this, I need more. So that way, the sankleshta keeps on happening. The dissatisfaction keeps on piling up, and hence during the death, they, come up to such causes which helps them land, or which causes them to land into Shwabhra Sagar, which is Narak. Taha bhumi par sat, as soon as you touch that place, dukh iso, bichu sahas dasay nahi tiso. It's like thousands of bichu, scorpions are pouncing on them. Taha radh shronit vahini, there all the rivers are like in such a form that it is made up of blood, or peep, mawad, of all the bad things in our body. Krimi kul kalit deh dahini. The place, so that particular river, if they really want to get out of their misery and have a good time in the um, river, they really cannot have it, because that place is such a place that as soon as they enter there, it completely burns up their body, it completely destroys the structure of their body. Semar tarudal jut asipatra. So the trees there do not have, leaves. Those leaves are made up of weapons. Asi means sword. They are like swords. Asi jo deha vidare tatra. As soon as they, the leaves come out of there and they are shed upon you, it completely destroys the whole body structure, and it really destroys it. मेरु समान लोह गली जाए ऐसी शीत उष्णता था. So it's extreme level of hotness and extreme level of coldness is there. This hot is such hot that they really cannot control themselves. It makes their lives very difficult. Like Meru Saman Loha Gali Jaya. Meru Sumeru Parvat. It's called the greatest Parvat, greatest mountain which we have in Madhyalok or in the whole world. Even that can be, if it were of iron, it would have melt because of such hotness, and it could have, because of the cold there, it could have had a very inverse effect as well. Pil pil kare deh ke khand. So the whole body is destroyed into small pieces. Asura bhidave dusht prachand. So this Asur Kumar Jati, they come and make their lives difficult. Sindhu neerate pyas na jaye. So Topan ek na boond lahaye. So they are very hungry, they are very thirsty. So whatever they eat or whatever they drink, it would be like, even if they drink the greatest, the water of different oceans, even then they would not be able to quench their thirst. They won't feel like even having had a drop of water. So that intensity of pain is being explained. Teen lok ko na chukhaye, mite na bhook, kana na lahaye. But if they eat everything on the earth, even then they on the earth, it's like teen lok. Whatever food is being made, if they eat it, even then they won't feel like having had even a small piece of food. In all the teen lok, there is no food. There's no food in Narak. There's no food in Swarga. But whatever food is being made, it's being made in Manushya lok, basically Manushya lok. But yes, Tiryanch also they eat, so maybe they also have food. Their food is not kind of a very vegetarian kind of a food. Vegetarian, non-vegetarian, both kind of foods they have. Ye dukh bahu sagar no sahe. The lifespan of the lowest lifespan of the first Narak people is of 10,000 years, and the highest time span of the seventh level of land of Narki is of 33 sagar. So a very long duration of time they live there, and they cannot die in between. Karama jogate naragati lahe. So if that stops, they come to the naragati. So manushya. So in short, we understand this very clearly that Narak is a very difficult place to live in. But there are a few questions we need to understand here. See, we have understood in the previous class that it's not just dukh there. Everything has, two coins. It's not just dukh there. There is some kind of happiness also there. Now, you'd say, if it's such a difficult place to live in, how do you say that there is happiness there? There is a happiness of understanding. However difficult you have a place to live in, however difficult environment you have a place to live in, but there is something called understanding. If your understanding shifts, if it completely shifts your perspective towards life, so that way we can understand a very great aspect to Narak, that even if they have so many atrocities in Narak, there is something which is called as understanding of seven tattvas, understanding of samyak darshan can happen there, of the function of the world, nitya, anitya, ek, anek. They can understand what the world is. They can understand what life is. Where did I go wrong? How can things be made right? So that level of understanding they have, and which can cause them happiness, because that cannot come unless you come to a point where you understand that it's not the physical pain, rather it's about my mental attachment towards that physical body causes me that particular kind of pain. So maybe I'm not the right person to tell you what kind of a pain a narki can have, because I am a human being. But as a human, you understand this, that even if there were coming out of that particular state. So when the Romans, Catholics in church, people used to fight, the same time was the time where war was understood. The same time was where people tried to save themselves through different kinds of other inventions and other kinds of activities. They could try to come out of it. So every time, whenever there is something wrong, there is a possibility of something going right. And hence, there are asankhyat Jeev in Narak who are unhappy, who do not have Samyak Darshan. But there are asankhyat uncountable people in Narak who have Samyak Darshan. So that way, and the difference between them is also asankhyat. Bahubhag asankhyat, so a major portion of asankhyat uncountable is without Samyak Darshan, and a minor portion is with Samyak Darshan. But yet there is Samyak Darshan possible. There is a point, there is an understanding where they can, know that, this is going to happen, and even though this is going to happen, I am not going to die. A Jeev is something which really cannot die. A Jeev ultimately is a pure substance which cannot die, and whatever is dying is this body. So that way, an understanding can be an understanding shift can happen, and which can lead them to understand. Now, you also may have a question that we have an adaric body. We have a body which has bones, which has muscles, which has other things which make us a wholesome thing. But Narki, they don't have bones, they don't have muscles, they don't have anything of that sort. Their bodies are of Vikriya. So, do they really feel the pain of being hurt? It's like their bodies, even if you break those bodies, they will break up and then join together. So, it's a very flexible structure. Now if you are going to kill them, their body, it's not something like, I am inserting a weapon into their bodies and there is a rib damage, there is a lung damage, there's a kidney damage, there is a heart damage. Nothing of this sort is there. So if even if you penetrate something, what exactly is going to happen with them, we really don't know, we really can't say. But then the kind of we can understand a particular understanding from this particular situation, that even if I'm hurt, you must have heard stories of great soldiers that even after uh, a lot of physical activity, they were hurt. Different kind of weapons were there in their body, and yet they were able to fight back. Yet they were able to retain something in their self which could help them to move on. So they could really feel surpassed from that particular body, from that particular portion of the body of the chest, maybe where something must have hit them or something must have been inside their body. Even then there would be a situation that they were able to understand that it's only here, but I do not live from here, I live from here or here, and hence they were able to fight back. So they don't have a heart. So Narki, they actually don't have a heart, they don't have a brain or something like that as a physical structure, the way, the kind of a thing we have. But yet it's always the attachment towards the body uh, which helps us to feel pain, which helps us to feel that particular kind of agitation, that particular kind of remorse through which this this thing happens. So they also have a body and they also have an attachment, they also have ignorance, they also have delusion. That body is the soul, and hence whatever is going to hit them, they're going to feel pain out of it. So even if they have a Vakriyak Sharir, that doesn't mean they're not going to feel the pain, because pain is not just about muscles, or it's not just about the bones or other structures that we have. It's basically about our attachment towards the body, which helps us to feel the pain completely in that particular point. You must have remembered a point in your life that you were hurt at a particular point in your body, or there was something must have hit you, and yet you wanted to reach to school on time. You had an exam, you had to reach to a particular place on time, or maybe you were going home, it was raining heavily, and you wanted to reach to your house anyhow, somehow. So you come out of your senses, you come out of whatever is happening in your body, and you reach to a point in your is your intention, you're again going to come out of your body and do the same thing. So it's like Kancha China saying, Atma to ajar amar hai, kabhi jeeti nahi hai, kabhi marti nahi hai, ise koi paida nahi karta, ise koi marta nahi hai, and he keeps on killing people. It's not that sort of understanding. So the basic understanding which we need to clear here when we are talking about Narak is that different and various kinds of pains a Narki is going to feel, yet there is something which is helping him come out of it. The pain is of the body and the delusion that the body is soul one. So that way this particular point can be understood. Also, there are other different places where Narak situations are explained, and they've been explained in a very different manner. Like we all know that the Gunasthan of Narkis is 4. Out of 14 Gunasthan, they can have only 4 Gunasthan. Mithya Darshan, Sasadan, Mithyatva Sasadarshan, Sasadan, Mishra or Avirat Samay. So these 4 Gunasthans are possible there. So whatever bad feelings they have, whatever kind of bad Ashubh Leshya feelings they have, even then they can snap out of it and get Samyak Darshan somehow. So that way it's completely clear that these 4 Gunasthans, if they are possible there, they could be possible only with the means of understanding through the man they have. So for Manushya and Tiryansh, man is like a heart, a beating heart. But for Dev and Tiryansh, what exactly is man, we really cannot say, because it is mentioned that Dev and Narkis, they have man, but exactly where it is and how is it functioning, it's like it is there in the center of our body, the place where there is heart. So there's a very small point where this man is working, as is mentioned in our books. But what would be the case with Narki or Devgati people? They also have the similar kind of body structure. They can transform their body structure to different various other ways. But whenever we have seen or heard, the body structure is being shown as the humans only. It is also mentioned that they can form themselves into different other animals as well. So maybe a lion, maybe a tiger, or something more hauntingly non-vegetarian beings they could transform themselves into. So again, that is how we can understand the situation of Narki as well. So this place is really, geographically also, this place is difficult to live in. The time period that they are having is also not flexible enough that they could die before a particular point, or someone else can help them solve the issue, or they can go to a place where they can find peace. Again, not happening. And the third one is the feelings also, the continuous feeling that comes to them is also of a very negative format. They always feel like Krishna Neel Kaput Leshya Bhav. Always they feel like, disturbing others, or being disturbed, or just fighting, or being fought some way or the other. They constantly feel like being in such a state. So in today's class, we tried to understand a little about what different kinds of miseries these people in Narak can feel, and what could be the basic causes of these kind of miseries that they have, and how can they come out of it in some or the other way. We have also discussed that particularly. So I hope this is quite clear to everybody. There are other things to discuss in Narak as well, like what is the location where these people stay. Are there hubs in it? Are there different, like we have ignoos? They might have bigger ignoos or places like that where they live. There are patals, and in patals there are particular small bin also where they survive. So even geographically, there is a lot to discuss when it comes to Narak. But the situation is quite clear. They do not have, something like, a society, a small tribe where these all people, help one another and they kill the other people. The other people, they also have a tribe, and these people are killing these people. It's not like, vampires and werewolves living as neighbors. It's not like that. They constantly are individualistically driven for fighting. So it's not a mob fight, but it seems like everybody is trying to fight with one another. and where they want to reach with this fight, nobody knows. So that way, it's a very difficult structure there. How does this connect with Karm Siddhant? Again, that is a question, because we always say that karma are very individualistic in nature. So exactly, like me and Harsh, we both are there in Narak, and if my Asata Vedni is coming to fruition and my Narak Gati Karmodaya is coming to fruition, now that has nothing to do exactly with Harshil. So, but I am remembering his face from the past life, and I'm trying to think about him. And when I'm thinking about him, a particular thing is moving in me, and I'm trying to hit him, and I'm trying to fight with him. So, exactly, how is this one to one completely mapped? Even that is to be thought properly. So, Karm Uday is very individualistic in nature, but when it comes to other people, when it comes to others, it's a little thing to think about exactly how is this going to happen. But then it happens, and it happens very smoothly in Narak. With our life, it's quite difficult that maybe that person is there or not. We are not very sure. But with Narak and Dev, it's a very common thing that they know the connection from their past lives, and it's really easy for them to gel together or have a hell over time together. So that way we can understand Narak and its miseries somehow. So try to give you a few points in order to understand Narak. Over to you, Harsh.
Thank you, Bhaiya. So I would say it was a beautiful explanation, but at the same time, very much threatening to know what are the dukh of Naragati, what are the miseries there, and gave us a lot of goosebumps. And because we are learning about Naragati since we are very young, through Chedala, through different lectures, pravachan, Gurudev Shri's pravachan. So today we have learnt all these dukh, all these miseries in details about Naragati. And now the session is open for any questions if anybody has from the audience. Any questions or any point which they want to add on? Okay. So since we will be having further more lectures, so I will just ask one question to Sayam Bhaiya, and I want you to throw some light. Out of all these pratikulta which we can see in Narak, I mean, there is not even a single second when they feel relief, apart from some exceptions which we learn. Uh, how does any of the Jeev come out of Samyak Darshan, attain Samyak Darshan in Narak, out of all these pratikulta?
Um, we have discussed a little about this. Um, Again, whatever miseries are happening, they are happening to the sensory jeev. Whenever we are considering a narki as a sensory being, at that point, this body is coming into picture. And when body is coming into picture, whatever is happening around the body becomes very important. But as soon as you go to a very different reality, which is, maybe in the language of psychology, it is called as subconscious mind. So the conscious mind is continuously working with the help of the sensory body. And hence, if you continuously keep on thinking about the conscious things which are happening around you, you will always be considered to be a person of misery. But as soon as it shifts to a subconscious understanding that whatever is happening in my body is due to some reasons, due to some mistakes I'm doing, and as soon as that comes into picture, you are able to come out of that particular realm of the sensory being, and then you can start to think that what is wrong, what is right, how are things going to be right. So the understanding of Sat Tattva can happen, where Asra Ban, Samvar, Nijra, Moksha can be understood. So it's a different reality, it's a different understanding. That way, Samyak Darshan is possible. So there are a few other instances also, like five Kalyanaks. When they happen, there is a point where everybody gets to have a moment of shanti, a moment of peace. But that's not the only thing which can trigger Samyak Darshan to them. So there are 5 ways by which Samyak Darshan can happen. The first one is Dharm Shravan. So after listening to some dev, you can get Samyak Darshan. Second is through Jati Smaran. Third, they have Avdhigyan, which can help them to figure out a little about the working of the Jeev. Fourth is they don't have Dev Darshan and they don't have Devardhi Darshan. But there is one thing which causes Samyak Darshan there, which is Vedana. Vedana Samyak Darshan is possible there. So intense amount of Vedana when they feel, there is a point where they just snap out of it. And that snapping is what we have discussed in the form of conscious and subconscious understanding. I hope it makes a little sense.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for this answer. And so I think we should be taking note this point about how a Narki Jeev, how a Jeev attains Samyak Darshan out of all these Pratikul Vatavaran there. And we have a lot of resources, lot of sources to learn, to do Swadhyay, and to educate ourselves, to know the supreme knowledge of ourselves. So we should have this question in our mind about attaining Samyak Darshan. That should be our goal. And that's all for today. If any questions or any points from the audience, most welcome. Otherwise, we will wrap up the session. Okay, so quickly, I will summarize the pointers how to access Jeev portal. This is only for the people who are new and joining this session for the very first time. As discussed, Jeev is Jain English Education and Values, a portal where you can learn Jainism in English. It's similar to the other portals like LinkedIn Learning, Coursera. It's designed in the similar format. Only here you don't have to pay. You can type Jeev website or www.jeev.net.in on your web, and under you will see a screen under resources. You can navigate the topic you want to explore. Five sins, four states of existence is already highlighted here. When you click on the topic, you will receive a link to access the course. Once you click on access the course, you will get accessibility to all the resources, modules, presentations, quizzes, and Gurudev Shri lecture snippets, articles as well. So in this way, you can access any of the courses. You can log in through your email ID as well as phone number, anything, whatever fits best for you. All the social media handles are mentioned here. And if you have any queries in accessing any of the courses, any of the website part, you can email us support@jeev.net.in. And for a lecture like this, we had Sayam Bhaiya's lecture today. So once the lecture is done, we will be uploading the lecture in next 24 to 48 hours on YouTube. We also have a YouTube channel. So in case if anybody is not comfortable accessing the website, you can go to the YouTube channel and you can press the bell icon there to get notification if any of the lecture or the video gets uploaded. Apart from lectures, we have a lot much. We have Wisdom Bites, which talks about small Jainism concepts, which we usually post it on Instagram as reels as well as YouTube. So these are like very small principles, Gyan hi Pratyakhyan hai, and all the examples which are there in our scriptures, we have converted into a very systematic 1.5 hour reel with several graphics, and that is most beneficial for all the young people, all the people who even don't know what Jainism is. So it is good for them to learn and good for us to at least understand those concepts. So that's all about today and the Jeev portal. Now over to Sayam Bhaiya for Jinwani Stuti.
आत्मज्ञान ही ज्ञान है, शेष सभी अज्ञान विश्व शांति का मूल है, वीतराग विज्ञान। वीतराग विज्ञान ही तीन लोक में सार, वीतराग विज्ञान का घर घर होय प्रसार। All right.
9/10 Ramuka.